It's always interesting in these events to think what's changed. And I think in the last couple of years, and it was really emphasised here in particular, children are looking for their learning to other places, as well as their schools and their teachers. The respect for their teachers is undiminished by all this. But there are children here who are in, they're in online communities learning better Photoshop skills. They're swapping programming tips with some pretty senior people. They're looking at other people's robots and thinking, we could so do that, we're going to change our wrist. And I think what you see is children who, having started to understand just how cool this role of a learner is, are thinking our learning isn't just confined to family and school. Our learning is the planet. And one of the projects I'm involved in out in the Caribbean, the nation wanted their children to be global citizens. These guys see themselves as members of a community of learners that is worldwide, and that's proper exciting. I think over the 10 years, they've gone from doing cool stuff in the context of their schools to doing cool stuff in the context of the planet. And I wondered whether the BBA eXtra would be back to cool stuff in the context of the district. But no, it's the globe and they're global citizens, and I'm very pleased. But what's interesting is we haven't had to look all over the whole of North America for excellence. It's right here, right in this district, right in the schools. And that's pretty encouraging, because you think, if that's where we are now, where are we going to be in 5 years' time? In every home, in every family. I haven't seen anywhere a model of learning that doesn't have a teacher at the heart of it. Sometimes that teacher is a parent or a coach or goodness knows, but somebody in that role of teacher is absolutely key. And I think we've done pretty well to continue to value that. As you drive around the district, however small it is, and you ask people what some of the coolest jobs are, and they'll say, I could be a teacher. Some of the smartest kids here, with the brightest burning eyes and the fiercest ambition, wanted to be teachers. And I think we've continued to value that role. We need to value it, because I haven't seen anything else that replaces it, but we don't want to waste it. And the other side of the coin is that sometimes I go into schools and I see brilliant teachers counting chairs, or doing trivial things. I think what we see when the children have got this much autonomy and this much confidence, they get on with their learning. The teacher gets on with being that learning professional that makes that special. What you see when we stop trusting children is teachers just managing learning. And we got enough managers, probably. If you're watching this, we've got enough managers. We need inspirational teachers, and that's what we've hung on to. And you've seen them here. None of these kids would have been here without their teachers. None of these kids would have been here without their parents. None of these kids would have been here without their smart ambition. Listen, coming to an event like this, and this is really hard to set up, because how do you find the children? Are they doing the right things? You're mixing the ages up, your little tiny ankle biters down here to wise old heads up here. How do you get the mix right? You would worry about all those things, and people who are following in your footsteps, you're worrying about those things too. But the moment here when I knew it was all fabulous was when they stood up after dinner. And the first thing they wanted to do was talk to each other about their projects, and that was the moment. They sat down worried about what they'd say. They stood up wanting to learn from each other. You got it right then. That was my best moment. People often ask, why have you done this with your life? And I guess it's a mixture of the straight personal. Sometimes you look at a kid and you see that light burning in their eyes, and you know teachers watching this will know, parents, you've made a difference. And the tools we have with technology let you amplify that now, so that a little difference can turn into an avalanche. So it's not hard to just push that snowball off the cliff and watch it go, and it's pretty satisfying. Yeah. But when we started, finding children who were doing exceptional stuff, and having fun, was tough. Now there are so many, and now of course we have a pressure from all around the world, from people in China and Australia and the Middle East and the Far East and Africa, saying we'd like to do one. We've enjoyed coming to watch them, but we want to do one. We've got good kids. And I didn't want to turn this into some ghastly corporate thing. I just wanted people to have the freedom. But to get that right, we needed to get the model right, and we've come here with these children and this district and these parents, and they've proved absolutely that the quality is out there all over the world. And I've had the most delightful day being challenged and provoked and just checking on my certainty that we actually don't know how good children can be, and being confirmed that however good we thought they could be, I tell you what, they can be better still, better yet. So Be Very Afraid eXtra is an extra one, and we're going to have extra ones in China next, and then we're going to have extra ones all around the world. So this was a little snowball being pushed off a cliff that's going to start an avalanche of children all around the world. It's pretty cool. And I think learning could be a little bit more delightful, and I think learning could mend the world, and those two things keep me busy. I've walked up to the children and started a conversation about what they're doing, and the children have been pretty matter-of-fact about it. And then they've poked a little bit and provoked a little bit and found, it's like an onion, they found layers upon layers upon layers. At the heart of it, they found children who are properly reflecting their practice, who are excited by what they're doing as learners and excited about their understanding of their own learning, and I just wanted, and that's what we've got, I just wanted people to walk away saying, we've got some fabulous kids here, we've got some fabulous opportunities. And I've seen that in everybody's eyes. People have come up to me, they'll have come up to you, everybody that's been involved in this, and said, blimey, those kids are good. I'm happy. Last night was a special moment at the dinner, and it's one I'd seen before, but it's the best moment of all for me, because the students come through the door, all ages, and they're nervous as kittens. They don't know what they're in for. They know it matters. People flying from around the world to see them. Half the world is going to be watching. Tens of thousands of training teachers are going to be watching their videos. And they came in nervous, and they chatted about their projects, and they walked out a foot taller, full of self-esteem, knowing that what they were doing was special and was very cool. And this morning they walked through the door, that confidence was still there as they sat down. And what I've been interested in talking to them is, what are you going to do with that when you leave? Where are you going with this confidence? And they haven't said, I'm off to be a robot engineer, or I'm going to go off and program apps. What they've said is, I've so learned how to learn, and I'm going to keep learning. I'm pretty happy at that point.